Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to make a Malay kuih. I learned this sometime between Form 1 to Form 3 in my school during cookery classes. So if you can imagine someone doing this in Form 1, between Form 1 to Form 3, I believe anyone can do this. It's very tasty, but the funny thing is I really do not know the actual name of this kuih. So if anyone out there can tell me what this is called, because when I was young, my cookery teacher called this kuih Seri Muka. So I went around thinking that this is kuih Seri Muka until I moved to KL, and I found that most of the Seri Muka kuihs are actually sweet, but this is a very savory type of kuih. So I think I will call it for now kuih Seri Muka Pedas. So if anyone knows the actual name for this, please let me know. I know there's something called pulut serunding, but I don't know whether this is what you call it. I'll show you the way to make it. It's quite unusual. That is why I always liked this. There's 4 steps to this kuih. One is the cooking, steaming the pulut with santan, and the next one is the actual topping, which is the serunding, and the third one is the another layer of topping. I'll show you what it is. This is the unusual part. I've not seen many people do this after I left school, but I used to do it at home because I really like the flavors. And the fourth part is the chili sauce that goes with this. Okay, so for the first part, I'm taking here 2 cups of pulut rice. This pulut rice is for a container about 10 inch at the most, or 9 inch. The depth is only about 1.5 inch. So if your trays are bigger, just increase the pulut, and of course the other ingredients too a little bit. So this is 2 cups of pulut rice and salt. You'll need coconut, 1 pandan leaf, 1 assam gelugor, and a little bit of oil. That's all you need. I'll show you later how to do it. I'm just showing you all the ingredients for now. This is the first stage. Aunty hari ni nak masak kuih pulut ya. Nama kuih ni masa aunty muda-muda dulu, antara form 1 hingga form 3 lah, kita buat ni dalam kelas masakan. Tapi cikgu saya panggil ni kuih Seri Muka. So saya ingat inilah kuih Seri Muka kan. Sampai dekat KL tengok semua orang buat kuih Seri Muka yang manis-manis saja. Ni pedas, sedap. Aunty suka yang ni. Lagi satu, kuihnya cute bila kita hidang tau. So warna-warni jugalah, itulah lekat dekat kepala saya. Kuih ni mungkin ada nama sebenarnya. Siapa yang dekat luar tu yang tahu nama sebenar, tolonglah beritahu aunty, sebab saya pun tak tahu nak panggil apa. So saya panggil ni kuih Seri Muka Pedas. Tapi kalau tahu nama betul dia, beritahu saya lah, saya nak tahu juga. Okey, ada 4 tahap untuk buat kuih ni. 1, pulut dia kena kukus dengan santan. 2, serunding. Nombor 3, lapisan atas tu ada telur rebus, dan keempat adalah sos cili yang dimakan dengan ni. Okey, so ada 4 bahagian. So bahagian pertama kita perlukan sedikit minyak. Sini aunty ambil 2 cawan beras pulut 2 cawan. Untuk tray saya macam 9 inci tinggi dia, 1,5 inci. Saya rasa cukup lah ni ya. Ini kita akan kukus nanti, dan yang diperlukan untuk kukus ni kita kena cuci dululah. Cuci dan rendam dekat 3 hingga 4 jam lah. Sedikit minyak, garam, santan, daun pandan, dan 1 keping asam gelugor. Okay, asam gelugor ni untuk mengilatkan kita punya pulut. Okay, another thing is I forgot to mention, this pulut, do not cook it like how you make normal Seri Muka. After cooking, you really pack it really tight. This you pack it down, but not as tight as when you make the sweet kuihs. Okay, this one, it's nice to see a little grainy everywhere. Something you can poke and eat with a fork easily. Then it goes well with the topping and the other things. Do not press it down too much. Okay, so this needs soaking about 3 to 4 hours. Wash thoroughly and soak it. I've washed it, and now what I'll do is I will soak it with about a teaspoon of salt. We'll be using salt twice for this kuih, because this is just for the rice to absorb somewhat the salt, and then later when we steam it plain, and then we add on the santan with salt again and steam it. So there a bit more salt will go. The reason for this is to be able to adjust the salt level. When you soak it, it absorbs the salt, and then though you wash it, when you steam it, you can actually taste the salt. When you are almost done steaming, we can take it out. That time we will add in the santan with a bit more salt salt. So you will know by then how much more salt to add in. Do not over salt it because the serunding topping is also salty. So this is a good way of gauging how much of salt you need. Now we will soak this 3 to 4 hours. Okay, aunty nak cakap tadi, lepas cuci bersih-bersih, masukkan air dan saya masukkan 1 sudu garam. Tujuan garam ini adalah supaya pulut ni serap sedikit garam ya. Lepas tu kita kukus kan, plain gitu kan. Lepas dia hampir-hampir masak penuh bila dia hampir-hampir masak penuh, kita off api dan keluarkan pulut tu. Lepas tu tambah santan dan apa-apa lain lah. Garam kita tahu banyak mana garam nak tambah lagi. Jangan terlalu masin sebab serunding pun memang masin kan. So tahap tu kita boleh rasa sikit nasi pulut tu dan boleh tahulah banyak mana garam Sebab itulah kita masuk garam 2 kali Okay, for the second part, which is the topping of the cooked pulut, what you need is some coconut, about this much. Even if you have excess after cooking, don't worry, you can always freeze it and use it for many other kuihs which I'll show you later on. Okay, and you need oil, salt, 2 soup spoons of dried prawns, okay, a small piece of fresh turmeric, half a soup spoon of sugar, about 4 to 5 small shallots, 3 garlic, 1 seri, and I'm not going to use all, maybe just half of a spoon of fresh red chili. Do not make your serunding very reddish. The reason being, we have a chili sauce that goes with this, so let that be the hot stuff. This is just to give it a nice balance to the fresh kunyit. All these things will be blended except the sugar, and this dried prawns will be blended together with all these except for the sugar. Everything else will be blended, not the coconut. Untuk topping pulut yang sudah masak tu, yang kita tekap sikit-sikit adalah kelapa. Kelapa ni jangan bimbanglah kalau ada serunding lebih, simpan saja dalam peti dingin beku, boleh pakai untuk banyak kuih kan. Lepas tu ada garam, sedikit gula saja untuk balance semualah, sedikit gula, 5 bawang merah kecil, 3 bawang putih, 1 serai. Ini cili serunding tu merah kan, sebab kuih ni ada sos dia, sos cili dia. So ini hanya untuk balancekan kunyit hidup ni Dan di sini ada 2 sudu penuh udang kering yang anti bubur dalam air lah, biar dia lembut sikit. Lepas tu kita tumbuk ataupun blend, tapi apa-apa kamu buat pun biar sedikit kasar lah, especially cili kering tu. Ini saya pakai yang dah blend. So apa nanti akan buat, blend semua ni, tapi cili saya masuk akhir so that kita nampak keping-keping sana sini. Minyak, kelapa dengan garam kita tinggal dulu dengan gula. Yang baki-baki ni kita blend, tapi cili last kali masukkan semua untuk dapat macam cili sana sini lah, dan rasa pedas sikit lah. Tapi biar pedas tu datang dari cili sauce yang akan kita makan dengan kuih ni. Okay, for the third stage, what you need is 3 boiled eggs. Use a egg slicer like this and cut beautifully. Okay, this will go on top of the serunding. You have to gently press it down in a nice arrangement if possible. Untuk tahap 3 kuih ni, kita sudah rebus 3 telur. Ambil pemotong yang macam ni, macam gitar ni, potong cantik-cantik biar kuning dia dekat tengah-tengah Yang ini kita akan tekap di atas serunding. Jangan beri dia macam serunding-serunding semua masuk atas. Nanti tunjuklah macam mana kita pakai plastik dan tekan baik-baik Ini tahap 3. Dan tahap 4 adalah sos cilinya Saya tunjuk bahan-bahan yang diperlukan. This is the chili sauce for the 4th stage What you need is oil, salt. For my size of tray, I will need, I think, about 2 flat ground chili and 3 to 4 fresh red chilies, and about 5 garlic, 1 small knob of ginger, half a large onion and 4 small onions, and of course some sugar. And you will also need some vinegar, a little bit, up to your taste actually, how you want it. A little bit of vinegar will be nice for this. Ini tahap keempat kita perlukan untuk buat chili sauce dia. Apa yang diperlukan ialah minyak, sedikit cuka garam. Di sini nanti akan gunakan 2 sudu sup rata chili blend plain punya. Lepas tu 5 bawang putih, 4 bawang merah kecil, setengah labu bawang besar, 1 sudu sup gula dan sedikit halia. Banyak ni sudah. Ini kita akan buat dengan 4 cili hidup sekali dengan chili blend Tulang yang kita gunakan ataupun pyrex yang kita gunakan, kita kena sapu sedikit minyak lah, so that bila kita potong senang keluar. Another thing I forgot to mention is the tray that you're going to serve the kuih in. Just oil it a little bit so that when you cut it out to whatever wedges you want, you get a clean cut and you can scoop it out. air sedikit. 2 dash cuka, sedikit minyak, 1 teaspoon lepeh garam. Chili saya pakai 5. I've used 5 fresh red chilies. Add a bit of water and blend it. And then we will add half a soup spoon of the blended dried chilies. After blending this, okay, semua yang tadi dah masuk dan ini saya akan blend dengan sedikit air ya. Minyak semua dah masuk. So lepas ni kita pekatkan saja atas api. Kita pakai air lagi kalau perlu. Dan last kali baru masukkan sebelum masak sos, masukkan setengah sudu sup chili blend ya. Sebab kita nak bagian kasar-kasar dia nampak sana sini. Now I'm adding in half a soup spoon of roughly blended chili. And I'm going to add in all this water and we will cook this down because the oil has also gone in, the salt, everything has gone in. We just cook this down and adjust the flavors accordingly, the sugar or the salt or the vinegar. Saya tambah lagi ya air. Sos dia perlu cair tapi jangan cair macam berair ya. Pekat sikit macam sos yang saya buat untuk kuih talam keladi. Pekat macam tu sedap. Tapi yang tu tak ada cili kering kan, yang ni saya masukkan cili kering sikit. Okay, I'm cooking this down with another cup of rice cooker cup of water so that you get a nice consistency, almost like the kuih talam keladi chili sauce, but that one doesn't contain dried chilies. This one does blended dried chilies. Cook it down a bit and adjust it according to your taste, how you like it. It should be hot, salty, a bit sour and a bit sweet. Just added in another soup spoon of sugar and a little bit more salt and vinegar. Saya masukkan satu lagi sudu sup gula ya. Dan cuka lagi dan garam sedikit lagi. Kamu adjust lah macam mana kamu nak ya. Boleh juga masukkan sos cili sedikit untuk mendapat kepekatan dan warna ya. You can also add in a bit of chili sauce to get a nice color. I would say 2 soup spoons. Anggaran 2 sudu sup saya masukkan sos cili juga. When you get rapidly boiling bubbles like this, you can switch it off. It will thicken more. Bila dapat buih-buih yang banyak-banyak macam ni, kita boleh off api ya. Dia akan pekat lagi sekejap lagi. Sos cili ni nanti dia akan pekat lagi. This is the chili sauce. It will thicken further. 2 sendok minyak ya. I put in 2 ladles of oil. And now I'm going to put in all the blended serunding ingredients. Masukkan bahan-bahan blend ya untuk serunding. 1 sudu ya chili blend. I put in exactly 1 flat soup spoon of blended chilies. Also put in a flat teaspoon of salt. Masukkan 1 sudu kecil rata garam. Masak sampai wangi baru masukkan kelapa parut. Cook until it's fragrant, then add in the scraped coconut. Try to get only the white part. Now reduce the flame, turunkan api dan masukkan kelapa parut. Add in the coconut now and keep stir frying until it becomes almost dry. Taste it often and adjust the salt. Rasa-rasa selalu ya. Dan garam banyak mana yang perlu dan sedikit gula. Remember you have to add in a bit of sugar. Saya akan masukkan sedikit lagi cili kering ya. Mungkin 1,5 sudu sup. Adding in another half soup spoon of chili. Nanti tambah lagi 1 sudu kecil garam dan sedikit serbuk cili kashmiri untuk memberi warna sikit. Jangan merahkannya banyak sangat ya, sebab chili sauce ada ya. Do not make it too red because you remember you have a chili sauce to go with this. That makes it a bit unusual. This is the color I like and what I remember my teacher told us to do many years ago. Sekarang anti masukkan gula ya, setengah sudu sup. Gula ni sedap lah dia bila makan dengan serunding. Dia memang perlukan gula sikit dengan banyak-banyak. You really need to put a bit of sugar to get the balance of flavor. Now you can cook all these things and get it ready while you wait for the glutinous rice to soak. Kita boleh siapkan semua ni ya sementara menunggu beras itu kembang sikit. Sekarang dah dekat 3 jam, dia akan mula masak pulut tu lah. Yang lain-lain semua dah siap. Taste it before you switch off the fire and let it cool down a bit. Space it out so it cools down. When you add the sugar, you will know what I mean. When you get the balance of flavor. Don't ever burn this. Kelapa ni hangus yang memang tak sedap. Nanti dah siapkan pengukus ya. Dan beras tadi kita tapis dalam bubur balik air dia sedikit. Sebab kita dah cuci banyak kali kan. So air tu boleh pakai balik. Dan daun pandan satu saya kerat-kerat. Dan masukkan 1 sudu rata garam. The glutinous rice was washed thoroughly, and then I threw away some of the liquid and I put in the pulut now. It's almost 4 hours actually. And I added it 1 flat teaspoon of salt, 1 daun pandan dan garam 1 sudu rata. Lepas ni menggelegak, saya akan masukkan dia. Lebih kurang anggaran saya ialah ini kena masak dekat 25 minit lah. Tapi kita test, lepas 20 minit kita test. Nasi dia kena macam just masak, baru masak macam tu. Sebab lepas ni kita akan masukkan lagi santan dan kukus balik kan. So kena jaga-jagalah. Dia kena masak. Bila kita ambil satu keping gitu, nasi itu kita boleh hancurkan. Itu saja. Jangan hancur terlalu banyak sebab nanti kita nak keluarkan, biar wap keluar. Dan masukkan balik santan, dibancur santan pekat, bancur dengan sedikit air dan garam. Dan masukkan asam keping untuk kilatkan dia lagi lah. I'm gonna put it in. Sekarang pulut dah masak. Kita keluarkan haba dia sikit-sikit lah sebelum masukkan santan. Dan rasa dulu ya sedikit mesin dia cukup ke tidak. Lepas ni santan nak masukkan. So, nanti dah rasa saya punya sini. Rasa dia okey, tapi boleh juga ditambah sedikit lagi garam. Jangan banyak sebab kemanisan dari santan ni kita memang nak kan. Daun-daun tadi tinggalkan kat dalam saja. Nanti lepas kukus kita boleh keluarkan. Okay, now you have to take out whatever you have steamed and let it cool down a bit. Move it around a bit. Don't destroy the structure of the rice. Just move it around a bit. You can straight away steam it in this or put it back in the same container and steam it. It's up to you. Because once it's done, what happens is you will have to press it into a serving bowl or tray. So it doesn't matter where you're going to steam it, in this other container or let it cool down a bit, because we are going to introduce more water. Biar haba dia hilang sikit-sikit ya, sebab kita nak masukkan lagi santan kan. Nampak tak? Nanti tak hancurkan beras pulut tu. Biar ada bentuk dia lagi ya. Dan mungkin masukkan lagi setengah teaspoon garam dalam santan ya. Lepas tu kacau-kacau, kita curah dia sikit-sikit saja. Jangan terus semua masuk. Banyak ni ya. Saya ambil 1 kotak santan, bancur dengan setengah kotak air. Biar santan tu kena semua tempat. Let the coconut milk get into every grain of rice. That's the reason why we put in little by little. Because technically this glutinous rice is already cooked, but it's not overcooked. So you want the coconut milk to go into every grain. That is why we do this. Keep adding. And then you put it back to steam for another 15 minutes for this rice is enough. Nanti tak nak hancurkan nasi banyak sangat ya. Sikit-sikit sudah, sebab lepas ni kita akan tekap dia dalam tulang. Okay, sekarang saya steam ni 15 minit saya rasa dah cukup. Now we are going to assemble everything and we are done. Kita akan susun semua lah. Sekarang sini ada 1 pinggang 1 ke 1,5 inci dalam dia. Saya sapu sedikit saja minyak. Okay, lepas ni kita ambil beras ni masa dia masih suam-suam sikit ya. Dan letak kat dalam. While it's still warm, use a glove or a plastic or something. Remove all the daun pandan and that assam, 1 piece of assam. Don't put it down till the top because you have this and the eggs to go on top. Just make sure they are level. If not, it will look odd. Pastikan dia rata sikit ya. Panas. Nak pakai sudu pun boleh, sudu sendok beras pun boleh, tak panas sangat. Okay, you can always use I think I've put a bit too much already. Saya keluarkan sikit sebab banyak juga serunding dia kan. Now you start pressing, mula tekap dia, cantikkan ujung-ujung dia semua, make the edges and all pretty, but do not press too much. You still want to see the grains of rice after you have cut it, then it will look nice and it's easier to eat. Kap, tapi jangan banyak sangat, kita nak juga tengok biji-biji pulut tu baru sedap makan. Kalau tekap banyak sangat tak berapa sedap. Pastikan ada serunding dekat-dekat 1 cm tebal lah. Okay, lepas ni kita ambil serunding dan bubuh rata ya di atas. Yang baki tu jangan risau, boleh simpan. Put it in a level surface. Make sure the surface is level properly. This is what gives the pulut a nice flavor. So don't stinge on it. Put it, but don't overflow because we have the boiled eggs to go on top. I'm so glad my cookery teacher taught us this at that very young age. We had some very nice cookery teachers those days. Always encouraging us, never putting us down and all that. But they were strict in the kitchens because they didn't want accidents to happen, but very understanding teachers. So ini jangan tekan, don't press this down yet. Okay, after this you take the boiled eggs. I'm not very good with my handwork. Try to get them pretty, all the eggs, and arrange them whichever fashion you want. You want to put like this, or like what we did in school. What the teacher suggested is to put them in a circular motion. The bigger ones on the outer side and the smaller ones inside, but always with the egg yolk. Let me do everything and get back to you. Okay, I've put a plastic over. Can you see none of the surrounding is on top of the eggs? Do this part carefully, then just gently press them down. Gently. Okay, tekap semua ni secara gentle ya, jangan terlalu tekan dia, memang tak sedap kalau tekan banyak sangat. Okay, apalah nama kuih ni, siapa tahu beritahu dengan nanti ya. Okay, ni dia orang akan, ni saya nak bekal, buat 2 bekal untuk suami dan anak. Ni nanti kita potong wedges ya dan makan dengan sos cili. Jangan lupa like, subscribe dan share resepi nanti kali ni, dan jumpa lagi dalam video akan datang ya. Jangan lupa tekan bell loceng tu ya. Bye bye.